Today, we're talking about what's happening in Tucson, Arizona with Tucson's newest casino breaking ground just recently on Grant Road and I-10. We're also going to be talking about how this project is going to progress, what it's going to include, how it's going to impact the local economy and the local real estate market. And as a bonus, I'm going to put my real estate experience, my 15 plus years of a real estate appraisal experience to work for you. I'm going to look at this project and indicate to you where I think the most significant spikes in appreciation in the local market are likely to be based on where this project is and how it's going to impact the real estate market. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's jump in. Hey, I'm Rich, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about lifestyle, real estate, and new builds in Tucson and the surrounding areas, then you've come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me and stay tuned in by hitting the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn everything that you want to know. So let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about what this project is. If you're familiar with Tucson, or maybe you're not familiar with Tucson, Casino Del Sol is a very well-established brand here in Southern Arizona. We already have a large casino facility that is located just west in Tucson, west of I-19, which is one of the major north-south corridors carrying freeway traffic. And that facility is comprised of a hotel, pool, dining, bar, gaming floor, you name it, everything that you would really expect from a hotel casino combo. Very nice. I've been out there with friends. I've been out there with my family. They have a venue that they put concerts on, and some of the bigger names that come to Southern Arizona end up performing at that venue. So from what is rumored, this newest casino is going to have a similar footprint to the existing Casino Del Sol. Now, with that, you would expect a sports book, food court, parking. They are going to have a parking garage. The facility itself is actually going to be multiple stories, and there is going to be a centerpiece restaurant bar, which is going to be really cool. And honestly, kind of similar to the Casino Del Sol that's currently on the west side. Now, this casino is going to be fairly large, about 65,000 square feet, which again is rumored to be a similar footprint to the existing Casino Del Sol. Definitely ample size to accommodate all of the things they're wanting to do in terms of gaming, restaurants, entertainment. So it's going to be a pretty cool casino, and it's going to be located a lot closer to town. For a local Tucsonan like myself and a lot of my friends, if there's a night that we want to go to the casino and maybe see somebody who's playing at their venue, because they do, since they have a large venue there, some of the bigger names that come to Tucson, performers that come to Tucson, Casino Del Sol is one of the locations that we see some of the bigger names come to town. Now, because this casino is located right in the middle of town, right off Grant and I-10, that is going to be so much more convenient than having to drive way west of I-10. And if you don't live west of I-10 and you've gone out to Casino Del Sol, the current one west of I-10, you know what I'm talking about. Man, God forbid you live in like Marana and you want to go have a fun night with enjoying a dinner at their steakhouse, and you want to play some games and enjoy some drinks. You're definitely staying there, or you're not going to be drinking much because you got a solid 45-minute to an hour drive home. So it's going to be really nice to have this casino located so centrally. And I think because of that, we're probably going to see this become pretty popular because of its accessibility. So let's jump in now to the economic impact. This is a big project. Now, I've made some other videos talking about big projects. This is definitely one of the larger projects that's happening in Tucson. From start to finish, it's estimated that there's going to be about 900 jobs created, which is huge. So that's our expectation of job creation over the construction and once it's built. And if we look at local economy impact, casinos do tend to boost the local economy. It's a big attractor for tourism. It's a big attractor for visitors into town. So if there is, since we're right there on I-10, one of the main corridors that goes through the southern part of the United States, as we get people coming through Tucson, visitors, even for a night, you can rest assured this is probably going to be an area that they're going to want to stop, because this is a huge hub now for them to take a pit stop, maybe get their mind off of travel, have a little bit of fun, enjoy a nice night out, whatever. Just have something exciting, something different than what they probably have experienced driving so far. So we'll probably see a big increase in visitors, and that being kind of a hub for visitors going east and west on I-10 to stop there. Now, for sure, the immediate area around this casino project, the Old Pasa Neighborhood, is for sure going to experience, almost certainly going to experience some profound changes in terms of what the values are doing and demand is doing in the near future. That's located very, very nearby, and it's most likely going to experience some significant revitalization, including that whole corridor of Grant leading from I-10 to, if you go east on Grant to, say, Oracle Road, even to First Avenue, you're probably going to see an increase of businesses and maybe a revitalization of some of the commercial buildings and commercial developments there as well. Now, if you live in Tucson and you really are curious about your home's value and you're watching this considering how would this impact my value, make sure you fill out the free home equity insight report. It's down in the description, entirely free. You click that link, provide me with some information, and what I'll do is put my 15 plus years of real estate appraisal experience to work for you. I'll personally crunch the numbers and determine what your equity is that you currently have in your house. Whether you just are curious about your asset, how much equity you have, whether you're looking to refinance, sell, or you're just curious about kind of what your net worth is doing, it's a great tool. It's free. Don't miss out. Grab that. That is free and something you should definitely take advantage of. I'm also going to mention in this video where I think we're going to see the biggest appreciation based on this huge 65,000 square foot casino being built. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that shortly. But first, let's talk a little bit more about the real estate implications that this big project is going to have. Now, new jobs mean a big influx of people relocating from within Tucson, but also outside of Tucson. 900 jobs is pretty darn significant. So that's going to lead to workers and their families and a higher demand of those people coming to where the jobs are. Without a doubt, I think that because this is located right off of I-10, that immediate area for sure is going to experience a pretty noticeable impact in terms of demand. And ultimately, that demand is very likely to increase the appreciation that immediate area will probably experience over the next 5 to 10 years as well. Now, another thing to consider is because there's so many jobs that are going to be started with this project, there's going to be people who are also looking for places to rent, that are looking to be closer in proximity to the casino because they work there. So we're likely going to see rental demand in the immediate area increase as well. Now, whether that's people living there looking for more of a 6 to 12 month traditional lease, we could see rental prices in this area go higher. And I would guess that within about 10 to 15 minute drive, 10 to 15 minute commute of this casino is really going to be the general area that we're probably going to see an immediate spike, pretty noticeable spike in the rental demand, rental price as a byproduct of that, as well as the real estate sales starting to show some impact from this big project being developed as well. Now, historically, we have a couple casinos in our area that we can pay attention to and look to draw some conclusions on how this next casino is likely to impact values. We got Desert Diamond Casino, which is further south of Tucson, and then we have Casino Del Sol, which is the sister casino to this one being built. And we have seen that both of those casinos, because of the increase in amenities and the size of those projects, they definitely played a role in the appreciation of the local economy and local real estate market surrounding those projects. Now, another thing to consider in this rental equation is going to be the visitors. People that are in the area want a night out in the casino, people that are or that are traveling on I-10 cross country or interstate traffic. This is going to be a great destination for them. And because of that, I believe we're going to see, it's likely we're going to see an increase in the short-term rental market as well. So if you've been on the fence of doing an Airbnb, starting a VRBO, wanting to jump on that bandwagon of short-term rental and capitalizing on the rental income that can be created through those types of investment strategies. If you own a house in this area within about a 10 or 15 minute commute of this area, you could definitely be in the footprint where we're going to see STRs, short-term rentals, increase in demand for sure. So stay tuned on what happens in the real estate market, specifically as we start to see this project develop, and looking on Airbnb and VRBO to see what additional demand and what additional properties hit that market. As I mentioned, because this is on Grant Road, which is a pretty popular street east to west from I-10, there is also a high likelihood that a lot of the commercial developments start to be revitalized. But I think that there's probably a high likelihood that we start to see some new commercial developments, shops, restaurants, maybe retail start to come in to that area and start to revitalize that portion of Grant Road, which it's going to be really interesting to see what type of service providers may be drawn to the area and what type of opportunities are created for a secondary effect of this big project coming into the area. I did do a little bit of research on Desert Diamond Casino, which is the competing casino to the Del Sol brand. And when we look at when that casino was built, there were signs of significant economic and real estate impacts as a result. So increased tourism, it led to higher traffic to commercial businesses, nearby businesses, which is very likely what we're going to see here. So as I mentioned, that's probably why some of these commercial developments you may see some revitalization. You may see some brand new business opportunities come in to capitalize on some of that growth and some of that new increased demand. The residential areas around the Desert Diamond Casino, which is further south, competing casino, but the residential areas also noted significant growth once that project was established as well. And because of Desert Diamond's proximity to the airport, that made it a great travel destination for real estate related demand. And similar trends certainly could emerge with this casino. In fact, it's arguably more convenient to the Tucson International Airport, being so close to I-10. It's probably a bit closer, a bit shorter of a drive, depending on traffic, than Desert Diamond. So we've talked about some of the really exciting stuff. Now let's get real for a sec and talk about some of the challenges and some of the things to consider as this project continues. Now I'm going to remind you, soon we're also going to talk about some of the areas that I'm a little keen on to keep your eyes on, because I think there's probably going to be a couple markets and a couple areas of Tucson that are really benefit from this new casino being built. We're going to talk about that soon, so stay tuned. But first, let's talk about some challenges that this could pose. Already in Tucson, there's a bit of a bottleneck right there at Grant and I-10, especially during rush hour traffic in the morning, midday, around 5 o'clock. So I think with this project being built, they're proposed to have some sort of a modification to that section of Grant Road. What that specifically looks like, I don't know. We're going to find out as it develops. But one of the challenges, one of the considerations could be an increased bottleneck right there. It's already pretty bad, and let's face it, there's really nothing there that supplies a lot of demand. This is just a bottleneck because people use Grant Road as one of the main thoroughfares going east and west and having access to I-10. So whatever they do, I'm hoping that they put something very strategic there. They're probably going to have to do something pretty significant to accommodate the already oversupply of traffic that are trying to get through that area and incorporate the new supply of traffic and new demand on traffic trying to go to the casino. Now with that, if you live in that area, one of the considerations could be the added noise of the additional traffic. You're going to have quite a bit of traffic, parking traffic, and construction over the next couple years as they work on this casino and finish it up. So that is another consideration if you live in the immediate area. And another consideration is you may be the type of person where you consider being located close to a big casino like this as a downfall. And that may be something that's inconvenient because of the traffic, the noise, maybe just a big commercial building that's that active being in close proximity. That's another challenge and consideration in and of itself. So, as promised, I'll give you some of my thoughts and insights on where I think some of the biggest impacted areas are going to be that are going to be positioned really perfectly to accommodate both the visitors, the employees that are going to be working at this casino and this project, maybe people relocating into town that really see that as a hub that they would like to be in close proximity to, the gaming, the dining, the entertainment, the performance. So I think that west of I-10, as you go west across I-10 from this casino, there's a large band before you get to Silver Bell, which is a little bit further west. I do think that that north-south band, let's say from about Speedway all the way down north to, or all the way north to, say, Ina, I think that stretch is really kind of a suburban market. And I think this is probably one of the biggest projects that has gone in recent years that will be a big draw for people living in that area. So it's going to be a big entertainment booster for people living there. I think that we definitely could see a big increase in demand because of this casino. So keep an eye on that area. The other area is downtown Tucson. Downtown has experienced a significant gentrification over the last 10 to 15 years. And now with this casino being much, much closer in proximity, downtown is already regarded from us Tucsonans as an entertainment district. There's a lot to do down there, from live entertainment, dining, bars, nightlife, you name it. And so with the casino now being in very close proximity, I think that a lot of people that either live downtown or are used to that area really like that area and live in that general area. I think that the casino is going to be another area that they bolt on to their entertainment list. So there you have it. Now we've covered what the casino is, what it has in store, how it's going to impact the local economy and the real estate economy. And I've given you my thoughts on some of the specific areas that I think we're going to really see the most significant spike over the next couple years because of this project. Now, there is a big opportunity if you're a buyer considering buying to look in this area, because this is a big economic hub to pay attention to. So definitely use this information to your advantage. And if you're a homeowner and you're considering selling, fill out that free equity insight report. It's going to give you some incredible data and some very credible information. So you have that to consider on whenever your timeline is to sell your house. I personally will be crunching those numbers, and I'll be a resource for you to kind of help you when that time is right. So feel free to grab all my contact information in the description. There you go. Now you know what's happening in Tucson, Arizona. Make sure you hit that thumbs up to help me and the channel out. And until next time, we hope to see you around the neighborhood.